yes, the energy. But she has to work on her jumping small and then her reflex. I think when she add this to what she has, with what I've seen other ladies doing, she'll be ahead of them.
Yeah, right now, no, I'm thinking of playing for the Barcelona ladies team, and U20 or the Black Queens B, or even when I get a call up at the Black Queens A, I'm okay with it.
That football is back. International football is over. But you are wondering, what is this new show? So on ABC Sports, we are bringing you a new show, and it is called The Build Up. This is our new baby. This is where we preview the weekend games that will be coming both for international football and also club football. I'll not be doing this alone. I'll be doing this with Eugene Ofoiso to use my usual suspects when it comes to distance, and also I'll be introducing other guests. Remember, this show is powered by Betway Ghana, and all they are saying is that you need to share your codes with your friends, fans, and followers. Guys, I have in here Takoma GH. Charlie, I dey like your name.
Yeah,
Takoma.
yeah.
What does it mean?
Well, it was given to me by my senior at St. Peter's Senior High.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you are okay with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I adopted
Takoma
it well.
GH.
Yeah.
All right. Then Eugene
He's a big
Ofoiso.
man. Oh,
Soti,
Charlie.
Charlie, what's up?
I did
You dey
everything.
feel cold?
Oh, this weekend and on Tuesday, some people have to feel cold.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
some
know what
people
you are
have to
trying to
feel
talk
cold.
about,
Some people
but
have to feel cold.
we'll come to that
Yeah,
that area. But the English Premier League is back, and this weekend is match week 12. There are some big games, interesting big games that we have. Let me quickly go through the fixtures, and then we can delve deep into them. First of all, tomorrow at Burnley will play against Chelsea Football Club. It's an early kickoff, and for the investors, you know sometimes what early kickoff can do. Then Bournemouth will play against West Ham United. Brighton and Hove Albion will play against Brentford. Fulham will also host Sunderland. Sunderland is a stubborn team nowadays.
Yeah.
Then at Anfield, Liverpool will play against Nottingham Forest. Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are on bottom of the table, will play against Crystal Palace, while Newcastle at St James Park welcomes Manchester City. Then Leeds United on Sunday will play against Aston Villa. Arsenal will play against Spurs, which is the biggest game in the weekend. It's the North London derby. Then Manchester United on Monday will play against Everton. So, let me start from you.
Yeah.
Burnley Chelsea early kickoff.
Yeah. So
Cole Palmer, by update, will not be playing that game because he had an accident at home.
oh, he doesn't need to play that game.
All right, but
Well, the best team in the you didn't. I don't like how you started the best team in the world plays.
best team in the world.
Yeah,
but we are
plays
talking
on
about
Saturday.
we are not talking about.
The best team in the world plays on Saturday.
I didn't hear that one, but you can continue.
Yeah, so the best team plays at 12:30, and I heard the early kickoff argument you were making. But I want you to know that in our last 7 games, early kickoffs, Chelsea has won all. So it's not Burnley we are going to lose to, and Chelsea have been doing well away from home. Turf Moor is our second home, apart from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which is our next. That's Stamford Bridge, and our next home is also Turf Moor. So as for them, we are going to support them. Burnley
are currently 17th on the league.
Oh, as for them, I think things will end the way it should have ended. So they will go back to where they came from. So Scott Parker and people will head back to the championship.
But talk to me about the Chelsea midfield.
Yeah.
Currently, there's Caicedo, Romeo Lavia is injured.
Romeo Lavia is injured.
Cole
Enzo
Palmer.
Fernandez is a doubt. And so I think from what's happening, it's very likely that it gives the opportunity to someone like Andre Santos.
Okay.
He's a player who has a lot of potential. Played last season for Strasbourg in the French League. Had a lot of minutes. Came back to Chelsea, and a lot of people believe that he should have been given a starting role at some point to compete with Enzo Fernandez. But it looks like for Maresca, he believes in Enzo. So he has kept up with Enzo. Now that Enzo is injured, it's an opportunity for Andre Santos. Within the international break, he started a few games. He played for Brazil as well. So he has got some minutes under his belt, and I think this is a game for him. I don't think Burnley is too much to ask for him to. I think he should have a good day. And I think that even if I have my own way, Caicedo should not even play this match. We should find
Why
some
you
acad-
underrating
No,
Ben?
no, we should find an academy player to play.
Why you
Because
underrating
we
Ben?
need Caicedo
For the
fit
Tuesday game.
For Tuesday game. That game our pride is on the line. We are the best team in the our everything is on the line. We when the draw was come, we called for Barca. We asked for Barca.
Yo,
and we've been
we
giving
dey
Barca.
here.
So we have
Next
to
week
deliver.
we will come here.
Oh no. Don't
Next week
worry,
we will come
don't
here.
worry.
I know they want any
Don't
stories
worry.
next week.
No, but you were there.
Okay.
You were there.
All right.
You know that Chelsea doesn't lose against Barca at Stamford
Okay,
Bridge.
you
And
just
there's no Messi.
just give
don't
me
worry.
a score line between Burnley and Chelsea.
A comfortable 3-0.
3-0.
Comfortable 3-0.
But Chelsea, nowadays, if you don't get a red card, you don't win a game.
No.
So are you predicting a red card since you are saying you are going to
No,
win?
we are changed. After the
You've
international
changed.
window, we have changed.
You've changed.
We have changed.
Okay.
Things
So
will not continue
thanks
that
be
way.
to God. No red card. Let me come to Takoma. Takoma. First of all, we're talking about Manchester City's chances when it comes to the Premier League type.
Yeah.
But before we come to that, they play against Newcastle United at St James Park, and we all know that St James is a very difficult grounds to play at. And already Newcastle are doing something good. The likes of Bruno Guimaraes, they have Joe Linton, they have Sandro Tonali,
And the-
Isaac Wentz. They brought in
Watermada.
Watermada, who is doing exceptionally well for club and country. Do you think that Pep Guardiola's boys can go there and pick up an upset in that particular game?
Well, thank you very much. It's an opportunity to also
Yeah.
have my say. Manchester City is a team that you all know, and their coach has experience. He's an experienced coach. Over the past 8 seasons, let me say 7 seasons, he has won a lot of the Premier League titles. And you, like I said before, I tipped Manchester City to win. Why did I say so? Now they started rebuilding with young players, bringing in new players, and then the old players who were there.
Right.
They just now a player like Phil Foden is on form,
Exactly.
and
He's on
Haaland
fire.
is also scoring.
On fire.
And whenever you see Haaland scoring for City, you should know that City is doing well. In the absence of Rodri, they are doing well. So now Rodri returning, that's the reason why I said they are winning. But this weekend against Newcastle didn't start the season well. But for the past 4 matches they have played, they are doing well. With the striker bringing in a Waterman, he has been scoring for them. And he scored twice for Germany this weekend. So you see the form that he's bringing into this game. But Manchester City away to Newcastle, and you looking at Pep Guardiola and the form they were before the international break, I don't think Newcastle will be finding it easy to score them with ease. But what I know, Pep Guardiola is he has been good when it comes to matches that you think he will be losing or something. So in this game, I tip Manchester City to win, a slight win, maybe 2-1 or a double chance for City, because City has Haaland who is on form. He's going to play. He's fit.
Definitely.
Foden is playing. Yeah. So and then when you look at a team like Newcastle, they normally disappoint. You understand? Teams
But
like
you see, normally when they play at home, they are a very difficult
Yeah.
side.
Even Liverpool
And-
struggle. The top teams struggle.
Top teams
Yeah.
from last season,
Yeah.
the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, even Man City themselves have struggled. Even in the Carabao Cup, they were the ones who eliminated Liverpool at
from
St
it.
James
Yeah,
Park.
yeah.
So playing at home, I think
it's not
it
going
will
to
be.
be easy,
But
yeah.
then again, I understand his point. because-
irrespective of Manchester City Manchester City losing some matches,
Yeah.
I think against Bournemouth also, and then Tottenham.
Yeah.
Their big games they have played against Manchester United, Arsenal. Even Arsenal were not conceding, but what
Yeah,
was the scoreline?
exactly.
And then their Liverpool, and
yeah.
you understand.
So,
they,
you believe Man City can go all the way to?
for me, I tip City to win.
Okay.
Their
So-
worst will be a draw at
All
St
right,
James
all
Park.
right, all right. So talking about City and Newcastle game, City are currently second on the league log, right behind Arsenal, 22 points. Arsenal have 26 points. Newcastle are 14th with just 12 points. But let's move on to other games, and now let's do the big one: Arsenal versus Spurs, North London derby. And by way of updates, Arsenal. When we were talking about Arsenal in the North London derby, in the last 6 games, Arsenal have won 5. One has ended in a draw. Tottenham Hotspurs has not been that good under Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
In their first game against PSG as manager in the Super Cup, he used a 5-back or 3-back system. From them, he has not been able to change that system, and it seems that they are struggling. In the last 2 games, Kudus hasn't played. Richarlison has been on and off. The likes of Pedro Porro are also showing what they can do. Let me go to Soti. How do you see this game? Because Arsenal in October they didn't concede a goal. Then all of a sudden, in their next game, they concede 2 goals against Sunderland. Looking at that defense, during international break, Gabriel Magalhaes also got injured. William Saliba is in there. And a big game like this, normally we say that form doesn't matter. Do you think that Spurs can come from their city, or they are all even in London, or they can come from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and cause an upset in Emirates?
First of all, when we started the season, Arsenal extended the lead. We all thought Arsenal was running away with it, but we've realized that all of a sudden they are now the gap is closing. Even if you fail to win this match and Chelsea wins, Chelsea again closes the gap, and then City also, if they're able to beat Newcastle, the gap closes. So now I feel that Mikel Arteta and his men are under pressure. As for the team, I feel you've bought enough players that if Gabriel is injured,
there's more squad.
Because
already there's
Hinchapi should be able to
Mosquera.
And I think that from now, when Gabriel is back, it should be a warning for Arteta. Hinchapi was part of the team with the Leverkusen team that won the treble. I think a season or two ago. And I don't think, remember, you're going to a World Cup year where Hinchapi and William Pacho, they are the starting centre backs for Ecuador. Hinchapi will not like sit on the bench in a World Cup year. That can affect his chances at national team. So he will need to start getting some minutes.
But one thing about football is that, especially for the centre backs position, even from goalkeeper, centre backs, midfielder, striker,
it should be constant.
The spine of any team, it should be constant. But so if Arteta should be changing centre backs.
Maybe not necessarily change them, but after 60 minutes when the game is done, take them off and then bring others, so that you don't end up having a lot of minutes. Some players having a lot of minutes, and then it affects them later in the season. But away from that, Spurs are also struggling, as we said. And due to a bit of inconsistencies, Christian Romero comes to the picture. He goes off injured. Others come. Kevin Danso comes. So you are not too sure what he's doing. A player like Radu Dragusin also there. You are not seeing what he's doing. But for a game like this, it's where I would love to see upsets. I would love to see Spurs stage an upset.
I see what you are doing.
I don't know if Kudus will be fit for this game, but this is a game I see Kudus having a field day against
I see what you are trying to do.
Ricardo Calafiori, who is just returning from injury. And I like how Kudus will take him to the cleanest on that day. And I hope to see a Spurs upset of a 1-0 where Spurs will score. And then once Chelsea also beats Burnley comfortably by 3-0, then it means that the gap is close.
Against none of us.
No, but I don't think you expect to support Arsenal in
against. But I've already given you the records in the last 6 games.
Records are meant to be broken.
Oh, okay, but for Chelsea, the records are not meant to be broken.
I'm just saying, records are meant to be broken.
Okay, let me count to Tacoma. It's a North London derby, the biggest game during the weekend in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Spurs. Where do you want to take it from?
Well, I want to start from how Arsenal has been so superb this season, without conceding. You spoke about Sunderland. Sunderland has been a stubborn side this season. So Sunderland scoring 2 goals, I wasn't surprised. They have been a stubborn. And look at they have like 19 points or so.
So
and
currently they are.
It should tell you how they are performing.
So currently Sunderland are 4th on the league.
Okay, so
a team 19 points.
A team that has 19 points should tell you how they are performing. So scoring 2 goals against, but my surprise on that day was how Arsenal has been keeping clean sheets, and they were not all of a sudden. But like I said, you don't underrate a team that has 19 points. And so going into this game, Tottenham Hotspur is coming in with Christian Romero, Van de Ven, Vicario will be in the post, Pedro Porro, and then in the midfield you have players like Johnson. You have other players like this guy they brought from Leipzig will be there for the Javi Simons, and in the absence of Kudus, and Richarlison will also be playing. Sarr will be there for them. So I think they have a strong team to face Arsenal. But on the other side, it's only Gabriel Magalhaes who is injured and who is not coming. Even in the absence of Victor Gyökeres, they find a way out to score. Eberechi Eze is on form. He's playing, and then Bukayo Saka is also on form.
Scored a wonderful goal against Sunderland.
See how he has gone to your club. You are allowed.
So in the midfield, you have, as usual, Declan Rice is there, And then
Basmati rice. That's how we
yes,
call it.
Declan Rice,
Basmati.
very good player. I
Beefy
like
rice.
him. He scores, his passes, his set pieces,
Better
everything
than
is on
Caicedo,
point.
right?
On point.
You
Okay,
think- you
for
think-
me,
you think
I'm
it's a
not.
joke?
For now, I'm not doing
You
comparison.
think
But
it's
Okay.
a-
when
no,
it's
no,
time for that, we will do.
let's get there
So
right now. Let's
we
get
are
there.
talking about the game. So looking at the
But
two.
rice is better than Caicedo.
Is it a joke?
It's
is it
a
a joke?
fact.
Well, for
All
Rice
the-
and Caicedo, me, I'll rate Declan Rice a little ahead of Caicedo. To
It's a
me,
fact.
that is.
See,
The reason why I'm
Rice
going
can
to
play
raise
in the sixth
How
position.
many
He
goals
can
has
play in
how
the
many
eighth
goals
position.
how many goals has
Now you are
oh,
using goals.
Simple question.
Ah,
How many
they are both
goals-
defensive midfielders.
Simple question.
They
How
are
many
defensive. They are
goals?
defensive midfielders.
the reason why
many
I will
goals has
rate
Caicedo?
the reason why I will rate Rice ahead of Caicedo is one, his decision making at the final third, how he's able to contribute, how he creates chances, and then also he comes back to defend. When it comes to defending alone, like I'll give it to Caicedo.
Caicedo.
He has the energy, the physique is there, but the decisive passes.
But-
That is what I'm talking about. Sometimes we call something a tailor-measured pass.
Yeah.
Who can give that pass between the two, and who can create a lot of chances between the two, and that's the reason why I'm giving it to Declan Rice, and how he also scores in time when they need him.
Sure.
So I'm tipping Arsenal to win this game against Tottenham Hotspur. Probably a 2-0 win for Arsenal.
So that game comes on Sunday, where Arsenal play Spurs at the Emirates Sports Stadium. It's a very big one. In games of this nature, you see a lot of fans, especially the Southlanders and the Northlanders.
Yeah.
They try their best to at least go and support these two teams. But there are other games that will be coming off in the English Premier. Let's quickly go through them and let's give our predictions so that we can also move on to other matters. So Saturday, Burnley Chelsea. We've already spoken about it. You said a Chelsea win.
For that one, it's a both team to score,
Both teams
but
to score.
a slight win for Chelsea. Maybe
Slight.
2-1. They will struggle.
Hey, slight win.
Yeah, they will struggle.
Oh, God.
Mark my words, Chelsea will not
Chelsea
find
will
it
struggle.
easy.
All right.
They will struggle, and even Burnley can register the first goal.
Okay.
So if
They are
it
playing
happens,
at
don't. Yeah.
Oh, this is against. This
All
one
right,
is
all right.
against. yeah.
So against.
Oh
this-
no,
what is
I'm
it
being
against?
I'm
It's
being
against.
factual here. Why am I saying that? We have an experienced Martin Dubravka who is in the post for them. Kyle Walker,
Jadon Anthony has
Azel
scored like 5 goals this
Twanzebe.
season.
You have and then you have all these players. They have experience
All right,
as compared to the.
Let's move on.
Chelsea also have players like that. And let me put this on records. If Chelsea wins this game, then that means they are going to give Arsenal a tough season.
Thank you for the
Yes, a challenge.
Okay.
Thank you for
Uh-huh.
the
What
And
what if City
Rhys
also
James will
wins?
replace Enzo Fernandez
Enzo
in the
Fernandez.
midfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see how that particular one goes. But Bournemouth will play against West Ham United. Antoine Semenyo
Yeah.
is in the. Bournemouth has a new player in there, Krupi Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his debut, he scored, and from there he's been scoring since then. They will be playing against West Ham at the Vitality Stadium. Predictions.
Bournemouth, surprisingly, before the international break, they lost 4-0 to Aston Villa,
Yeah.
and before then they had lost again. So it's been 2 losses for them. And then for West Ham also, they have rather in the last few games they have been winning under
Nuno is doing
new
something
coach
well.
Nuno.
Yeah.
So I think it's a game where there'll be a goal. So I think, but it's a game where I'll predict that Bournemouth will come back to winning ways. So a game where maybe at least 2 goals over 1.5 and maybe a win for Burnley,
Okay.
a win for Bournemouth.
All right. Let me come to Tacoma. Brighton versus Brentford.
A tough game. Very
At the Amex
tough.
Stadium.
Yeah, very tough game between the two. Brentford is doing well. I thought the departure of Brian Mbeumo and then
Wisa.
Wissa. But now Dango Ouattara and those other players are doing very well. But
Igor
Thiago.
Thiago.
Yeah.
Thiago.
He's one of the top scorers in
Yeah,
the Premier
exactly.
League
Yes.
after
He scored 2
Haaland
goals
and
against
Semenyo.
United.
a very
Yeah,
good
yeah,
player, yeah. And when you come to Brighton, they are doing well.
So who are
Welbeck
you
is-
predicting to win?
Okay, I'm predicting a both team to score, but a draw to me.
All right, so let's move on to the White Hart Lane. Fulham are playing against Sunderland. This is a tricky game.
Very,
Sunderland,
very tricky.
Sunderland on the road are not that convincing, but whenever they play at home, you could you could give them
Fulham have this in a little upper hand. I just want to say this, then he will continue. Fulham have lost only one home game, and that
This
was
season.
against Arsenal
yeah.
this season.
Yeah.
So they are very strong at home,
Yeah.
irrespective of their performance. They are
But do
very
you think
strong.
Granit Xhaka and his men can go there to cause an upset?
Yeah. Because of how they I think it's because of how they shape up. I don't think because they are play away from home, but how they shape up, I think it gives them a good chance against Fulham. I don't think Fulham, the confidence they used to have 2 3 years ago, is still there. And I'm hearing that Marco Silva doesn't want to sign an extension, so his contract runs at the end of this season. So already there are conversations behind the scenes of letting him go before, and things are not going too well for Fulham themselves. There have been some results where some games they should have won comfortably, they've ended up losing. So in this game, I'll fancy rather an away win for Sunderland, or at best for the Fulham draw.
Now let's move on to the title defenders, Liverpool Football Club. They'll be playing at Anfield against Nottingham Forest. For Nottingham Forest, they have Chris Wood. You mentioned Callum Hudson-Odoi. But do you think that at Anfield, especially when results are not going well, Ancelot would like to, I'm sure during the international break, he reflected on the results that are happening, and will he sit down for Forest to come and beat them at Anfield?
But last season, according from at Anfield, they lost 1-0. I think it was Callum Hudson-Odoi, that Keller.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. If they still have that same hunger, I think they can. And they have virtually the same players. And now they've added Danny Doy. That's one player I really wanted Chelsea to have gone for because he's good for counter-attacking situations. And for Nottingham Forest, they have a lot of good defenders. Murillo and Milinkovic, good defenders. Olaina is injured at the moment. And a good goalkeeper.
They also have Chris Wood.
And then Martial as the goalkeeper. So I think that in this game they should defend and then catch Liverpool on the counter. When they score one, that's all. So it's actually a game where, with things not going well for Liverpool, I would rather fancy a Nottingham Forest win.
I think Liverpool, after some games, after disappointing matches they have played so far, disappointing their supporters, after the international break, I think Ancelot would like to come back to winning ways, and this is a game that there's a big test for him. If only he wants to defend the Premier League title and he wants to tell the fans that they are back, then they have no chance than to win this game. I think that going into this game, Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo, and then other players like McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, they are ready and they are fit. All their players are fit. And so going into this game, I am tipping Liverpool to win, and it is a win over 2.5 for Liverpool.
And in the pre-match presser for this game, Ancelot was asked whether he can retain the title. He said he's taking a game at a time. Normally when coaches say these things, he's
considering the gap. And how some teams are taking some teams are performing, are coming back. A city like this, at a point in time they were not considered to be, but look at now they are competitors. So that's why he will say that.
Now let's move on to other games. But I like it to be a quick fire answer. Wolves will play against Crystal Palace. Wolves are 20th. Crystal Palace have been on and off. Who do you think are winning? Wolves have a new manager, Edward Pages. Do you think that at least he can pick up a win at home? They are playing at home.
Wolves win.
Both teams to score, but Crystal Palace will win.
All right, we've already talked about that Newcastle and Man City game. But on Sunday, there is also Leeds against Aston Villa. Leeds have started the league so well. Aston Villa themselves have not been that consistent. Unai Emery, who do you think is winning that game? Quick fire answers.
Well, I think double chance for Aston Villa.
All right, Suti.
Both teams to score and over 1.5.
All right, then on Monday, the mid-table derbies, as someone will say. Manchester United will play against Everton. Manchester United are not beaten. They are not in the last 5 games.
But they've also not won their last 2 games.
Let me finish. Why you rushing? Why they rush? They are unbeaten. For that, they are unbeaten in their last 5 games. But as you said, they are also winless in their last 2 games. But they are playing against Everton. Jack Grealish is doing something at Everton. Takuma.
Well, even though I'm a United fan, but I want to be honest, it's not going to be an easy game for us. Looking at how in the eye that Senegalese international, and then looking at Jack Grealish, his contribution, chances created, but they are missing Martin, their defender. I think Braithwaite. He's not playing. He's a very fantastic defender. Manchester United on the other side is missing Benjamin Sesko. But Matthias Cunha will play up as a false number 9. United are on form and they are
doing so.
Yes, Mbeumo is doing well. And then, as usual, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, they are doing well for Manchester United. I think Manchester United is also vulnerable too. And the defense is not cannot keep clean sheets, and they will concede by all means going into an away game like this. So both teams to score, by United to win 2-1 for Manchester United.
All right, so United to win. Suti also doesn't think that that's really going to.
I'll go for Everton win.
You go for Everton win. Against Inti. Against Inti, you go for Everton win.
Possible goal scorers, Iliman in the eye is one.
All right,
and
all
possibly Michael Keane as well.
But boss, do you know something? One thing I wanted to chip in: Bournemouth game. Bournemouth is playing who?
Okay, so let me.
Bournemouth is
check.
playing. I think
West Ham.
West Ham.
Yeah,
Is it West Ham or?
Yeah, West Ham.
yeah, West Ham.
Good. Bournemouth. The last time they scored West Ham at home was in 2019, and the player who scored one of the goals, they scored them 2-0. So the player who scored one of the goals is now with West Ham.
Okay.
Colum Wilson.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Wilson.
So
yeah.
He
But
can
even for
cause
Wilson, he's
an
not-
upset.
At West Ham, he's not even get that chance.
even
to
if
play
he
a
get-
lot of games.
but
Like,
now
he's not
the-
that
the
kind of
omen-
guy.
Now he's the new striker.
The
He's now
omen
the
in
number one.
football, even if
Oh.
he get 2 minutes and he has to score, he will score.
So these are the kind of storylines in football that's
Yeah.
going on. But let's move on to other. Before we move on to other lists, still in the EPL related issues, there's this debate currently ongoing. Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane this particular season. Who
Erling
do you
Haaland.
think is the best striker? Who is the best striker in the world? Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, Harry Kane. By way of numbers, in all competitions, Mbappe this season has played 20 games. He has scored 23 goals. For Erling Haaland, 20 games, 32 goals. Harry Kane, 22 games, 28 goals.
Sorry, Mbappe, how many goals?
23 games in 23 goals in 20 games.
23 goals
In 20 games. And for Haaland, 32 goals in 20 games. And for Harry Kane is 22 goals. Sorry, 22 matches, and he has scored 28 goals. Who do you think, at least at the end of the season, will win the Golden Ball?
Oh, as for the Golden Boy, I don't know. Haaland can score 100 goals, but he will never get the respect that Harry Kane and Mbappe will get.
Why?
I think one is the fact that his impact is never felt in games. He's just mostly at the end receiving end, but Kane and then Mbappe, they involve themselves in the play, and also the fact that we've seen Kane and then Mbappe at the World Cup since 2018, and for the first time we'll see Haaland at the World Cup in 26. And usually in very very big games, Haaland is only at the receiving end. He scores. If he doesn't score, he's like salt in water. Virtually, he's virtually non-existent, and his presence isn't felt. So I think for me, with the Golden Boot, it's very likely that Haaland will win it with the trajectory he's going on. If he's not injured, he will continue scoring.
But I don't think he's the best striker.
No,
in the
no.
world.
The best striker, no.
Just because he's not skillful.
Me, I answered that question in 2022, the World Cup final. When I what I saw Mbappe do in that final, it was that day I came to the agreement that after Messi and Ronaldo, the greatest player.
But
is
you know the
Kylian Mbappe.
primary role of a striker is to score goals.
Well-
But you see, you have to involve yourself in the play. You need to
No,
in big games. You
no,
need to assist.
see,
We should feel
I
your
think-
presence.
no,
The
yes,
tackling,
we
the
should.
dribble, something.
We should-
It boils
we
down
should-
to the system of the coach.
Well, you see, and me, I've never
For
believed in
Guardiola-
Guardiola anyway.
No. What he is saying, no matter your system, he is saying that a striker.
No, you know
need
some coaches don't want their strikers to be involved in the play.
But
So
Aguero was
you don't
involved
have
in
to
play.
be a deep line striker. Just be at the top. The ball counts and you score. That's what City are
to.
currently
One
using.
thing is that if, for me, my understanding, when we say a striker,
Mhm.
about 75% is a goal. You should be a goal poacher.
Yeah.
So Erling Haaland is doing that.
Exactly.
But when you pick Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe and Harry Kane, they involve themselves in the game.
Yeah.
But what do you do when they give you 7 clear chances, scoring chances, or even sometimes when it is a half chance? What do you do with it? And that's exactly what we are talking about
But
Haaland.
we've seen Haaland scoring half chances.
That's what he said.
Yeah, Haaland. I'm
Yeah.
saying that Haaland, giving him 7 chances, he can give you 6 out of 7.
Exactly.
Giving Harry Kane 7 chances, he can do same, or let's say 5. Giving Mbappe same. But because Mbappe and Harry Kane have been involving themselves, that's why people. But for me, my understanding as who is a striker, I'll give it
You
to
give it to
Haaland. This season, he has been a fantastic player, and I think he's better than the two.
And even on the international scene,
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
he's
Even the
qualified
World Cup
Norway.
qualifies.
He's
I think
qualified
he is
Norway to the
leading.
World Cup.
Yeah, in Europe.
All right, so you can also send in your comments. Who do you think is your best striker when it comes to Europe? But before we move on to other topics, we go for a breather. Remember, this show is powered by Betway Ghana, and they are saying that just share your calls with your friends, fans, and followers. If they do, doesn't matter if they win or draw, you earn 4% of their wager. Go for a break. When we come back, the show continues. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back from the breather. You're still watching Build Up with me. Welcome back from the reader. You're still watching Build Up with me, James Ohimba Makion. I have Soti and also Takoma here, and now we are delving deep into the other games that will be played during this particular weekend. Let's move on to the Spanish La Liga. Let me just go through the games, then we can focus on Madrid and Barcelona. And today, Valencia will play against Levante. Alaves will play against Celta Vigo on Saturday. Barcelona, they are moving to the Camp Nou Spotify for the first time in a while. They are playing against Atletico Club de Bilbao, whilst Osasuna lock horns with Real Sociedad. Then Villarreal will play against RCD Mallorca. Then on Sunday, Real Oviedo, Kosisibo, he's not getting the playing time, but let's see whether he gets it in this particular one. They will play against Vallecano. Then Real Betis will play against Girona. Then Getafe will play against Atletico de Madrid. Elche on Sunday will play against Real Madrid. Then on Monday, Espanyol will play against Sevilla. Now let's zone into the two biggest teams when it comes to the La Liga. First of all, let's talk about the Barcelona Atletico Club de Bilbao game. They are moving to the Spotify Camp Nou for the first time in a while. The stadium has been renovated, but they are playing that game against Atletico Club de Bilbao. Friendship will be seen there. Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, two friends, will be there. But let's delve deep into the game. Who do you think is winning this particular one? We've seen Rashford so far in the season doing well. We've seen Lewandowski. Rafinha is injured. Lamine is also doing something in there. Some people are saying that he should concentrate on the football and stop that
18-year-old boy.
Stop that chasing after old women. But before we delve deep into the game, let me ask Takuma: Should we leave Yamal to live his personal life and let's just concentrate on his football? You think that he chasing in quotes after old women will affect his game?
Well, I think Lamine Yamal has managers, and he has those who control him. We've seen Lionel Messi when he started at Barcelona.
We didn't hear stories about
good. Even though we didn't know, we don't know his private life.
Okay.
That was hidden, something that we didn't hear. But he is a public figure. We would have heard it. So now that Lamine Yamal is doing that, I think that if you want to have a full concentration, and as you can see, he has been going on and off, injury, and those things. It can worry you. That's the same thing that disturbs players like Robinho, D'Souza, players like Neymar Jr. and so on and so forth. So I think that Lamine Yamal, if he wants to be like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and the top players, he has to concentrate much on his game, and then leave those things for maybe later days, not now, because now you need much concentration, much energy to be the face of
the results. In spite of all of these things, he's still giving.
How many goals has he scored this season for Barcelona?
Oh, we've only played about 10 games.
Yes,
so why are you judging? See, my problem is, when you were a teenager, you were doing certain things your parents were telling you to stop, but you were still doing it. He's a teenager, he's exploring. And he's 18 years.
I understand.
It's not like the guy is like 14
I understand.
Or 15
years. It is his personal life. I don't want to talk about that one. But what I'm saying is that now that you are a public figure, now that you are leading Barcelona, a team like Barcelona, and what you did the previous year is what you are being measured with. So they are measuring you based on what you did last season. And last season you performed, you scored goals, your contribution, and a whole lot of things that you did for Barcelona. They expect you to do more because you were almost getting a Ballon d'Or. You understand? So your performance must be up there. It should be consistent. Okay. You should be giving the numbers. Messi and Co, when they were at Barcelona, we were not talking about the number of games we have played. Even if you have played 5 games, We should see.
All
Maybe
right, I
Messi
get your
has scored
point.
5.
I get your point.
You understand?
Yeah, I
So
get your
Lamine
point.
Yamal must concentrate much on the game.
All right, I won't let Soti talk about this. I'll let you talk about the game. So in the last 5 games between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, Barca have won 3. One has ended in a draw. Atletico Bilbao has won 1. Do you think they can keep on using this record against Bilbao, especially at home?
I think this is the first time they are returning to the Camp Nou,
Exactly.
right? So they need to win. But the problem I anticipate is that because of the fact that they are traveling to London on Tuesday to face the biggest club in the world, then they will need to drop some of their key players because they respect their opponents too much. So I anticipate that they'll drop a few players in this game. So that might worry them. But in this game, I expect to see maybe they start very strongly. Then after maybe 60 minutes, and they take off the players. But I expect to see an improved performance from Marcus Rashford. We hear Lamine Yamal is back from his injury. Is that not the case? The injury which prevented him from playing international break, but he's good enough to feature for his club side.
So do you think that is the club that's doing that?
Oh, honestly, I think that Luis de la Fuente was lenient with him. If I was de la Fuente, when I saw that statement from Barcelona, I said, okay, as a national team, we also have our independent assessors in the medical team. So come and let's assess you.
Okay.
And they would have also assessed him and seen the whatever is the issue. But I just think it was deliberate from Barca not to allow him to play. Meanwhile, the same Barca fans, if the national team call up come and their players are not many in the team, they will complain. Now they invite your player to the camp and they play him well too. You say they are overusing your player
too much.
It is a thing Hansi Flick should watch. He is the one over stretching the players. And certain games, once the result is done, take the player off.
All right.
But for this game, I think it will be a narrow win for Barcelona, a 2-0, a 2-1 win. Nothing extraordinary from Barcelona. I think it will just be nice for them to return to Camp Nou with a victory.
Now from Barcelona, let's move on to Madrid, their bitterest rival. They will play against Elche. In their last game against Rayo Vallecano, they failed to win, and we saw how head coach Xabi Alonso reacted towards Vinicius Junior. Let me say Vinicius Junior rather reacted to Xabi Alonso for substituting him. Now they play against Elche away from home. Madrid are on top of the league log. Barca are second. Do you think it's a stroll in the park for Madrid in terms of this game here?
Yeah, I think Xabi Alonso has been doing well this season, and they have lost only a game against Atletico Madrid and drawing against Vallecano is a tough team. They are very good when they meet especially tough teams, and at home it's not easy to beat them. So that game, it was very difficult for them. And if you could clearly see the game, someone like Vinicius, he's not on top this season. He's not on top. I don't know where his confidence has gone to, but it depends on the coach. So the coach must talk to him.
Let's not catch you. For Vinicius, he also has issues of girlfriend broken hearts. So there's a story of him. His girlfriend left him. He had to at least ask for permission from Xabi Alonso, go back to Brazil, go and beg together with his mom.
You know those things.
Maybe it's a combination of bad things. I'm sure before the season started, before Xabi came to the team, he started talking about saying that this team, nobody is a mainstay, nobody has a number 1 slot. And Vinicius was the best player for Madrid last season. Is that not the case? Along with Mbappe, right? So already the whole conversation is not nice for him. The coach, you are among the best. The coach starts talking before he even meets you that nobody is comfortable.
Mbappe has taken over. He's the darling boy of the club.
So maybe those things already, he's not happy with the way the coach started talking even before first training. And then now you're also telling us that he has broken.
And he's been offered a new contract. He hasn't even signed.
You see, those things happen psychologically. It's happened to Guardiola. You remember last season. And it happens to players. But Vinicius must concentrate on the game and stop your game, your performance on the pitch will speak for you. You understand? If Vinicius is scoring, giving assists, scoring, winning games for Madrid, nobody will be talking about him. You understand? So I think that he should be up there. Tomorrow's game on Sunday, they are coming up against Elche. Elche is not a tough game for Madrid. Madrid will find a way to beat them. Madrid will beat them. Mbappe is on form. He has returned. Vinicius, players like Valverde, Tchouaméni is also there. Ada Goulet and other players. I think that it's a tough game for Elche rather, but not a tough game for Madrid. Madrid will beat them. let me give you 3-0 win, and Mbappe should be on the score sheet.
I'm sure it's the same for you, Soti.
No, the way Madrid have been of late, let's be very honest. There are certain games in La Liga, if you watch carefully, if not for the referee, Madrid shouldn't have won those.
Hey, this
They are
conversation you are bringing.
So
many
can you
of
can you
those-
give us
too
one?
many-
Can you give us one game that
give us one
you
game this
think
season.
Come in, let me.
you think? Because when I came, I was telling you about
Yeah,
Kotoko
but so before
local
you
Kotoko
get
match.
it,
So you
let's
should
look
give me.
at the goals that these clubs have scored. Barcelona have scored 32 goals
Yeah.
this season. Madrid have scored 26 goals this season, and Atletico Madrid have scored 24 goals this season. So when you are talking about the attacking prowess of these teams, so far Barca are on
For
top.
Barca goal scoring, I'm not surprised. They have been scoring. You understand? I'm not surprised. And sometimes they can score 4 and they will concede 3. For Barcelona, that's how they are. So I'm not surprised.
Soti, you know they find them.
No,
Make
I
you
find
move
them.
on.
No, I define
Charlie,
them.
you for bring the
No.
evidence before you go.
You
move.
see,
I know they find them. I define them.
This is one thing. that
Madrid.
you remember this referee, Laos?
Yeah.
That referee, he
Matheus
came.
Laos.
Yes, he came.
Madrid Getafe was 1.
And what about that particular
Madrid,
game?
Madrid won 1-0. That game, if you watch the game,
Okay.
and then
What about that game? What happened in the
no,
game?
those who know.
Oh no, you need
Is
to
it
give-
Madrid
you
or
need,
Tefi?
you need to
Yeah.
tell us what
Mbappe
happened.
scored the
Yeah, you
goal,
are saying,
right?
Yeah.
It was a penalty.
Yeah, I think.
so
Right.
it wasn't
Yeah.
a penalty. You are saying that it wasn't a penalty.
And I think even Madrid was as soon I'm coming.
You see,
About
when
2 or 3 games I've watched Madrid
the-
where
that
the referee
agenda-
helped them.
that agenda, sometimes they.
I'm coming.
That's
Let me-
what those
Oh, go
referees
on,
you are
go on.
talking about. Europe, when they go to Europe, nobody complains. They go, they officiate European
Yeah.
matches and nobody complains. You understand?
That
But when
makes
they come, you ask yourself that Mbappe. Sometimes I remember there was a game Mbappe was pulled down, but the referee decided to ignore,
Yeah.
and he just said play on. You understand? Such a game, a Madrid fan will say that they have been cheated when, especially when Barcelona wins their next game. Maybe Madrid is playing at 3 o'clock and then Barcelona will be playing at 7. As soon as Barcelona wins, they will say they have been cheated. You understand? So that's how it is.
Sometimes,
but
sometimes it's
be,
from the fans.
let's be honest. Madrid is playing well.
Yeah.
You understand? They
yeah.
are playing well. Look at how the coach is able to improvise when their players are injured. Look at when he had no number 2. Cavajar was injured, and then Trent was also. He brought in Valverde to
Yeah,
replace
to
the,
play.
and then now Carreras, and then this guy
Constantinos.
no Garcia. Yes,
Yeah,
you understand.
Garcia.
So they are there, and sometimes Chouameni even comes to defense.
Ah.
You understand.
Have
So
you
this
seen
is
the
how
game?
Madrid are.
I've seen the
Which
game. It was
game was that?
Madrid Villarreal.
And what
Madrid
happened in the
Villarreal.
game?
Okay, so what happened in that
I'm
game?
coming. It was Madrid. I think Madrid scored first
Mm-hmm.
in the 47th minute. Then I think,
Madrid scored 2 and they scored 1.
yeah, I think. And then
You think?
No, they were
Hey.
given a red card before. I'm coming.
Villarreal
So
got a red card.
let me check.
Yeah.
Let me check the last 5 games of.
No,
No,
it
Villa-
was that.
Villa-
I remember that game very well because.
Me,
Oh, no, so
So in Madrid's last 5 games,
it was a 3-1 win over Villarreal. The penalties they awarded for them.
before
I think Villarreal even had to
so
score
you
the
you
goal.
have an issue with the penalty.
his argument is flawed. You know why I'm saying that?
Mhm.
Now, before Villarreal scored 1 goal, Madrid has scored two goals.
Mhm.
So is it that they were putting pressure or they equalized and there was a penalty for Madrid? What is your argument about?
Let me-
But
You
yeah,
understand?
so at the end of the season, who do you think is winning the league?
Um,
Because Atletico Madrid themselves,
no, this season
they are currently fourth on the league.
They are
now
coming, but
with 25 points.
They are coming,
behind
but-
Villarreal.
2 seasons ago, Atletico looked like they were going to win the league, and then things. By the time they got to December, things went out of hand for them, and so I don't think Madrid. They've taken a lead. They lost out on a point to extend it when they drew against LT.
So it's a 3
But-
points
Well,
gap.
Yeah, 3 points. As for 3 points, it's not really enough. But I see Madrid
Winning the league.
Yes, because I don't think they'll go far in the Champions League. So
for me,
they'll have to focus
I'll
on-
only make this short, brief statement. If Barcelona in January signs a defender,
Mhm.
because they need a defender,
Definitely.
the departure of Inigo Martinez has worried them a lot. And I'm hearing Christians saying who wants to leave. The Barcelona need a defender, and if they get a defender to at least to be a backup, Araujo is not that good for Barcelona. If they get a defender, they will disturb Madrid. They will worry Madrid.
All right, so that's by way of the the Spanish.
I'm still looking for my.
Charlie,
my
you
I'm
go
still
explain
no,
tired.
no.
Okay, maybe-
tired. Make we move on.
Maybe he can bring it another time,
Next
some
time.
other
No,
time,
no,
but
no.
not
I'm-
now
So
because
to go and find out.
I don't
When
know
we do
any
the
game that
replay
you
or
are
when we
talking
come
about.
back next week, you can provide the evidence for all of us to see. But let's move on to the Serie A. So we have the Derby della Madonnina,
Wow.
where Inter Milan will be playing against AC Milan. It's one of the biggest games in terms of Italian football. Two clubs who use the same stadium. One called the stadium Giuseppe Meazza, one calls the stadium San Siro, but it's the same place. But before we delve deep into that particular game, let's look at the run of fixtures this particular weekend. And the Italian Serie A is heating up. So tomorrow, Cagliari will play against Genoa, Udinese will play against Bologna, then Fiorentina they will play against Juventus. That one is also a big game. Moiskin would like to score in that particular
Fiorentina
one.
are struggling. They are
Yeah,
struggling.
sorry, they've changed their approach. They brought in Paolo
They were not
Valini.
winning games. We started the season first 5-6 games. They were not winning. So Fiorentina are struggling.
All right.
Juventus themselves also sacked the Igor Tudor.
Two struggling teams.
They've changed a new
Struggling
coach.
neighbors.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Napoli will play against
Napoli,
Atalanta.
surprisingly, they lost to Bologna 2-0.
Bologna
Then-
is doing very well this season. If you have checked, you have followed
Yes,
them.
Even them,
we will
they've
come
been
back to
some
we will come
last
back to the
3
league
years.
table to see how they are performing. Then on Sunday, Verona will play against Parma. Cremonese will play against AS Roma. Then Lazio will play against Lecce. Then the big one on Sunday is Inter Milan versus AC Milan. Then on Monday, Torino will play against Como. Then Sassuolo will play against Pisa. But let's look at how the table is looking at. So after 11 games, Inter on top of the league log. They have 24 points. Roma are second with 24 points. AC Milan are third with 22 points. Napoli are fourth with 22 points. Then Bologna, as you mentioned, they are fifth with 21 points. Juventus are currently sit with 19 points. If we go down to the table, Genoa, Verona, and Fiorentina. Fiorentina is 20th on the league log with just 5 points. They've changed like two coaches. Last season they were struggling with relegation, and it looks like it's only Moiskin who is like a big player in the team.
They brought Edin Dzeko as well to help, and then you could see what they were trying to do. They brought in Tariq Lamptey as well. Then Tariq got injured, and then for me, I expected that once I saw Moiskin, what he has done, and then bringing Edin Dzeko back to the Premier League, then to the Serie A, they're about to cook. But it looks like they score, and then their defense is the problem. They are conceding a lot of goals, so that is how come they are strong. They score, then they concede, so they can even take a lead, then there's a comeback. So I think they need to sort out their defense. Once they sort out their defense, they will not have a problem.
All right.
And they need to start get back to winning ways so that they move from the relegation area.
Let's quickly talk about the Inter AC Milan game. Very like a minute.
Inter AC Milan also started the season very well, to the surprise of people, because of the way things didn't go well last season, and then this season as well, because there's no Euro for them. They have the chance of resting well and playing well, but things have not gone well for them in the last few games, and so that's how come they've slammed up and Inter have taken the lead. It's a game where I think for me Inter are slightly favorites because of their pedigree and the way they have played very well. They've built a team over the last 2 years. For AC, they are now trying to configure things. For the attack, they are still struggling with Santiago Jimenez, who they brought from the Dutch league, and then Christopher Nkunku also just came. He's also not up to the task yet. At left back, Pervis Estupiñán also just came to the team. He's now trying to find his way. Estupiñán is comme ça. Today he has a good game. Tomorrow, not so good game. And so I think they are still struggling around it. Mike Maignan as well. Injuries are worrying them.
So you think Inter?
I think Inter have a slight edge over them. But these games, the results are usually it's never 4-0, 5-0. It's usually 1-0 or 2-1. Yeah.
Okay. Takuma.
Yeah, I think looking at Massimiliano Allegri, who is the manager for AC Milan, he's an experienced manager and he's turning things for Milan, even though they are not getting constant results, but he's turning things for them. Looking at their performance last season, And then when you look at Inter Milan on the other side, they are doing well, but they are also disappointing at times. Games that you think they will win, they will struggle, and then other. So in this game, which is a local derby, they are playing, they are using the same stadium and all that. I think last season, if you look at last season or 2 seasons, AC Milan really showed Inter Milan.
Yeah.
If you remember,
Yeah.
even in the Coppa Italia,
Yeah.
they scored them, and then in the Serie A. I think that with the likes of Christopher Nkunku and Jimenez, as he said, Rafael Leo, I think he's back to the team. He was injured, but I think now he's back. They will try to do some, but Lautaro Martinez alongside Esposito, in the absence of Thuram. Thuram was back, but I don't know whether he's fit for the team.
Yeah, he's
Inter Milan, for them, their midfield is okay. Cahanoglu, Barella, and so on and so. They are good. They are
So,
good to go.
In
So
their
I'm
last
predict-
5 games,
Yeah.
in their last 5 games, Inter have failed to win a game. Is 2 have ended in a draw. AC
Yeah.
Milan have won.
That's
3.
why I said they have struggled to win a game against them.
That's
These
true.
recent meetings, and AC Milan also are bringing in a coach who is very experienced. He has won the Italian Serie A several times,
Several times.
and he has changed teams. You
I
understand,
get
with
it.
Juventus, with AC Milan, and so he's experienced, and he knows how to play this kind of games.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So it's a tough game for Inter Milan. I will go for a both team to score, and probably a full-time draw, maybe 2-2 or 1-1 draw.
All right, so that will be all for Serie A. Let's quickly do a preview of the Champions League. A short preview of the Champions League. So on Tuesday,
The best
Chelsea
team
will
plays.
be playing against
Thank you.
FC Barcelona. I will be Ando. Then on Wednesday, Arsenal will play against Bayern. I think these are the 2 biggest teams in the weekend.
Chelsea will win at Stamford Bridge. I think a 2-0 win against Barcelona will be okay. And unfortunately, we are hearing that Kopama is very likely he will not play. I was thinking it's a ploy from Maresca. Then on Monday, you see the Champions League list, and then Kopama's name will be down.
Maybe
there.
you'll travel the squad, but won't play.
No, we are playing at home at
Oh,
Stamford.
okay.
That's what
I get
even
it.
gives me renewed hope.
You'll
That-
be at the VIP box.
It pains me because that Barcelona highlight, I want us to exploit it. That Kopama's deft touch to Alejandro Garnacho to run between the lines behind Jules Koundé is something I would have laughed. But well, even if Kopama doesn't play, we have a $1 billion dollar
that?
squad. We have a $1 billion dollar
okay.
squad, and so once Palmer is not there,
Which are Barca no
no,
no.
Barca is not at
Our
Chelsea's
team no
level.
alone.
No,
Any
no,
old
no,
players,
no,
any
no,
free agents.
No. I always argue this point with Sammy. I always said it. that
But if we are talking about $1 billion and something, Lamine Yamal alone is how much? Lamine Yamal alone can
Like
match
2 billion.
even if
about 10 players of Chelsea.
if no
Looking at
Chelsea we
their
don't
value.
no Chelsea
You
will
understand?
not put a player in that position of signing a player with a $1 billion clause. If as Esteval was if Kopama was in La Liga, he would have been 2 billion. He would have been simple.
Okay.
But back to the point.
You are saying Chelsea are winning because of your hard
Just no, because of the high line, I expect to see a goal from Alejandro Garnacho.
Okay.
Another one from Esteval Willian.
Very fantastic player. Okay, well, like I said, Chelsea, I'm afraid for them how they will defend 90 minutes without conceding
Don't worry.
against Lamine Yamal, Marcus Rashford, Lewandowski, and Fernando Torres.
That's a
You understand? 90 minutes without conceding. So I'll be going in for both teams to score. But whoever wins will depend on how they set up on that day. Barcelona has a chance to win, and Chelsea. And remember, this is not a home and away that you say I will
Obamifia
score and
version.
come. Obamifia,
Barca has no chance
there's
at
no.
Stamford Bridge.
So
That one.
at Stamford Bridge, I will go for a slight win for Chelsea. Being honest, you understand. But they cannot defend 90 minutes without conceding. Chelsea will concede.
Also, just one thing. You spoke about Lamine Yamal. I can tell you on Tuesday he will not have a good game.
Against Kukurea.
You know Kukurea?
What? I think I'm looking out to
Kukurea
that.
is a Nima. He's a Kwashe boy. He's in the war. He's gone
He
to the
pockets
market.
the boy.
He's looking for a potential candidate to
let's
Kwashe, and he would get a Lamine
I
Yamal
think
on the day.
That will be an interesting matchup. And whenever we talk about Chelsea, Barcelona, what comes into my mind is that ACN goal. That ACN goal against Barcelona.
And
It
for me
was-
also, I think
it was
the one
super.
there was this goal Ronaldinho scored. He was
Yes,
dancing
and
with
that's
the ball.
Iniesta
Yeah,
goal.
no,
So
let's
those are
not
the
talk about
memories that
Iniesta.
come into my mind. But remember, the Ghana Premier League also will come off this particular weekend. Let me quickly go through the fixtures, then we can. So Mediema will play against Bechem United. Karela United will play against Basake Holy Stars. James FC will play against Red Raw Blacks. Hoho United will play against 11 Wonders. Western Football Club will play against Heart of Lions. Diana Football Club will welcome Brekum Chelsea Football Club. Nations FC at home will play against BBN Gold Stars. Then Young Apostles will welcome Accra Suffolk. Then FC Samatex will also welcome Kumasi Asante Kotoko. House of Folk versus Young Apostles. Your prediction?
House of Folk, Young Apostles. I'm going in for a straight win for House of Folk.
Okay. Samatex Asante Kotoko.
Tough game.
Kotoko's best to be a draw at Samatex.
So you think they can still go unbeaten?
Yeah, unbeaten, but they'll not win.
All right. So this is how we end the first episode of the build-up on ABC News Ghana. I did this with Eugene Oforisoti and Takoma. My name is James Oyimba Maken. Remember, on every Friday is the build-up to the weekend. So we'll preview all the games for you. We'll talk about any player that you want. It'll also be on social media on ABC News Ghana and ABC Sports. Just drop in your comments in that section. Tell us what you want us to talk about. But before then, we will meet you next week. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.